we've all felt, you know, and what I felt, that feeling of awe and that feeling of community coming together and the magic that's happening on the quest. And even if there's no other, you know, person with your vision after you, will leave something that may prompt you again.
A stepping stone. It would be, I think, it's a stepping stone for all of us.
We had to had to come to terms with the fact that our community was dying around us, and for me, I didn't know whether I was going to live or die. After, you know, all I knew was that I wasn't willing to go yet.
And Tom hired me at CAP to organize asymptomatic people, men, and one of those groups were all youngsters. They were all 20 kids in their 20s, except for one guy was a 30-year-old, and another guy was in his 30s. Of that group, me and the other 30-year-old are the only two living. Those were really, really hard times, and they were dying like, you know, folks were just dying and couldn't keep up with it.
We had done a psychodrama at the mountain, and it was a very powerful event, and everybody feeling the awareness of death and how present it was, because everybody's lives had been so touched by it. And that night I had a dream, and the dream was a very powerful dream in which I dreamed about Lucas, and I dreamed a dream about some changes that were important for him and his healing. There should be a healing center, and that Lucas and I should form this healing center, and that it should be done now, if at all possible, because there was a need for it. And again, I got the part, if I was willing. I didn't have to do it, but if I was willing, it would be a good thing. So after I had the dream, I thought about it, and I thought about telling Lucas the dream. And I thought, well, I'll tell him the part about his own healing and about having dreamed about a healing center. So he came up to me in the morning and he said, Lusijah, I had a dream, and you were in it, and you're not going to believe it. And so he began to tell me the dream, and the dream had the part about the healing that he needed to do as I had dreamed it. And then he said, and I dreamed about a healing center and the importance of creating a healing center. And I'm thinking, oh my, that's a big dream.
I'd always been so concrete before then, you know, and I believed or didn't believe vehemently whatever Western medicine had to tell me, and thought it was my only hope, and found out it wasn't. And was able to hang on through those big psychodrama retreats, one in which a lot of people died, and then the next one when nobody died. It was so weird. It was so weird.
What I worked on with Lusijah, and what was kind of moment of change for me, was when I decided that there was something of value that was worth defending. And I think with this disease, for a lot of us, at least for me, I had to come to a point where because I had so much guilt, so much shame about this disease, I had to decide that there was something worth defending against HIV.
What I loved most in the beginning was being in a room full of men you could flirt with, and it wasn't dangerous.
Still has about 24 husbands.
24 husbands. And all the psychodramas early on where I gave birth to you men. It's just grueling. Be the mother after mother after mother. Look, you're all grown up now. I came as a certified executive chef to set up a kitchen was my idea. It would take a week or two. And I never left, ever.
West was in the basement of what became the Portland Alternative Health Center on 12th and Morrison. And Lusijah was very friendly and welcoming to me. And I, you know, sort of gravitated toward the basement and all of the unusual things that were going on down there. Mm-hmm. Everything from didgeridoo, having to lay down and do didgeridoo to healing circles. We did a lot of healing circles with various practitioners. Sydney's one of the practitioner, receiver of our treatments. And it was great. What a great community. I wanted to be part of that community.
But that intensity I do miss, that I felt, you know, when the future seemed so tangibly uncertain, when I would risk going to a psychodrama. More risk coming here.
After doing the individual therapy, I got into group, and that was when I really got into Quest. And there it was about really learning how to function in community with those things that we don't know how to talk about. Nobody knows how to talk about, and nobody knows how to deal with. And so it was giving us a way of learning how to deal with it in a group, learning what the advantages and limits of community were, and kind of learning how to sort out the good from the bad. I remember at that point really feeling vulnerable, and you really taught, and the Project Quest taught, I think, how to trust in yourself and your own feelings and your own strengths.
I learned a lot about myself and people, and you know, how to be comfortable with people that I never felt comfortable with. How to stop always wanting, how to be able to talk about sex and don't have to feel like you have to do it. That was fun. Still is. So, and basically, you know, how to be able to step up to other people and love them and care about them and be a part of some people's lives that need you to be a part of their lives.
One thing that, being part of the evolution of Project Quest and everything that I did there is the finding of a sense of self and what really that is for myself, and not what anybody else tells me it is, but what it is for myself. So I think it's still an ever, you know, ongoing discovery of what that is, but it's interesting.
Lusijah, you created this environment that was like a playground for all of us to figure out how to do our lives, and it was incredibly and is incredibly powerful. And I look at everyone in this room and I think about all the community that we have participated in for years, and that I attribute my living to this community. And what an incredible, beautiful thing that is.